Sir.
Okay, all right. Let's just jump right in here. So like I said, Andy is the customer, and we're gonna just talk about his solar opportunity. So the idea here is that I've had my initial meeting with his wife, Ramona, and she is there in the background, but of course, Mr. Andy, the husband, wants to talk with me before going solar. So that's the whole idea behind this, okay? All righty. So Mr. Andy, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. I'm doing good.
Good, man, good. I first want to say thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to present this information to you. Your wife has been awesome so far, and I really, really appreciate it. So my goal tonight, Andy, is to, of course, answer any of your burning questions that you have about solar, kind of, talk about what your thoughts on solar is, and then, just kind of talk through the information to see if it's a great fit for you. If everything goes well, my personal goal with you tonight, Andy, is to help you go solar, okay? And does that sound like a plan to you?
Yeah, I think so. I was just, tonight I just was kind of thinking about, getting some information from you and kind of just seeing what you have. Just, just mostly just wanted to make, just get some information, just see what you
Okay.
have here.
I can appreciate that, buddy. I can appreciate that. Let me ask you this. Have you talked with any other solar companies in the industry?
Not yet. This is the first. This is my first time actually sitting down and looking at the numbers.
Okay, awesome, awesome. I can appreciate that. I will tell you this. What stands out for me right away is that I approached you. I knocked on your door, right? Which shows that I have an initiative to help you go solar. I do have about 12 years experience doing what I do. And my personal mantra, Andy, is to sell like I'm selling to my mom. Okay, and that's a true statement for me because I understand the complexities of this decision. This is probably one of the biggest decisions that you'll make, opposed to buying a house. Purchasing solar is a very large investment, and so I understand that. And so it's my goal again to help educate you through this process. And if we can come to an agreement tonight, great. If not, then let me help you in the decision-making process, okay?
Thank you.
All right, sounds good, my friend. Can you do me a favor and turn your video on? I like to see your expression as I'm talking to you.
Yes, sir. You see me okay now?
I cannot see you. Let's see here. Where are you?
I'm like right next to you.
There you are. There you are. Thank you so much. Awesome. So what kind of work do you do, Andy?
I'm in the oh shoot, I thought you'd ask. I'm a caretaker.
You're a caretaker.
I'm a homemaker.
Okay, awesome. So you're stay at home, and are you taking care of parents, relatives? I mean, how's that working for
you? Taking care of the kids, 6 of them.
Okay, awesome, awesome, buddy. Okay, so you understand the whole family dynamic. Like I said, I do approach my customers like I'm selling to my mom, who is the closest thing to my heart, and I want to make sure that you're understanding all of the information, and that we're going to answer all of your questions. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome,
That
buddy.
sounds
Awesome.
great.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. My company is Powur, Powur Solar. We are a PBC company. What that means that we're a public benefit company. It is actually written in our bylaws that we have to, do something that's really benefiting renewable energy in that space. And so, not only are we the fastest growing solar company in the industry, but we're doing very well when it comes to our inventory, our financial position, and where we're headed for the future. I don't know if that means anything to you, but I will tell you this: with all of the solar companies that are out there, Powur Solar is the fastest growing solar company in the US at the moment, okay? And we are on the Fortune 5000 list, the 61st fastest growing company. And so we've raised millions of dollars, almost $1 billion in public funding, and people don't even really know who we are yet, right? So, you know, our splash that we're making in the industry is just beginning, and we are looking to really disrupt the traditional means of going solar. And so I'm sure that, you know, through the presentation tonight, you'll see more of what I'm talking about, all righty?
So how long have you guys been in business?
So we were founded in 2015. So we're about 7 years old, and within that time, I mean, think about that. I mean, is that strong? What do you think?
7 years, I guess it's, but I don't know about the solar industry, but it doesn't sound like a very many years.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been in the industry much longer than that, but we as a corporation have been in the solar space with our business model since 2015. Now, I want you to understand something. Even though that doesn't seem like a long time, we were always in the sales arena or in the solar arena. We supported Solar City, who is now Tesla. We were lead generation for you know, some of the major companies out there. But my point to you is that in the 7 years, in the 7 short years that we have been in business, we are now literally the 61st fastest growing company in the United States. That's out of thousands of companies, right? So that really positions us strong in the industry. And so you're partnering with a company that knows what they're doing, knows where they're headed, and they have their act together. Okay.
Wow, you supported Solar City, which is now Tesla.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
That's pretty strong, my friend. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All righty. Do you have any questions for me before we get started?
No, that looks like my roof there, but I don't know if that's my roof because I don't know if I have solar panel. I don't think I have solar panels yet.
No, you don't have solar panels yet. So this what I'm showing you tonight is based on the information that that I've gathered from your wife. As you know, she's provided me the utility bill already, and so what I'm doing is presenting the information for you to help you make an educated decision about going solar. And so my presentation is going to show you exactly where the solar panels are going to go on your roof. It's going to show you what your offset is, meaning how much power we're going to provide for you based on what you consumed last year. And it's going to also show you your savings and your cost. Okay. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good. I like it.
Awesome. Okay, awesome, partner. I really appreciate the feedback. So what do you know about solar? I mean, what got you interested in going solar?
Well, mostly we're a little bit, I mean, inflation's going through the roof. You know, we got war in Russia, so we're a little bit concerned about where things are going and the prices of things, and maybe even, you know, maybe even, you know, will the grid always be there for us? So those are some things that we're concerned of.
Yes.
But as we talked about, though, the main reason I let you back in is because you know, obviously if we could save money, because you mentioned that we could save money, you mentioned that, so that's the main.
Absolutely. So your major goal tonight is to save some money. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes, sir.
You mentioned earlier that you have children. How many children do you have?
Well, she's pregnant with number 6. That's why she's in the back room over there. She's sicker than a dog right now.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, partner.
So
number 6, huge family. You know, I'm actually number 7 of 8. There was 8 of us.
Well, god dang.
Yes, sir. So I understand the dynamics of a large family, right? Do you know how much it costs you to raise each of your children? From, let's say, age you know, 0 to 18. Let's just say
so
18.
20 years ago it was $250,000, somewhere around there, maybe 300.
Okay.
I don't know what it is now.
Okay, I say you're pretty accurate. I'm going to go ahead and with that number because that's the latest information that I saw, that it takes about $300,000 to raise a child from 0 to age 18, and you have 6 of them. 6 of them. So you understand the importance of saving money, right? You're a caretaker.
Yes, and begging.
And begging. So you're a caretaker, and that's a beautiful, man. I tell you, there's no better job in the world than caring for loved ones, specifically, children and your parents, right? And so, the idea here that we're going to talk about today is that we're going to show you how to put some of the costs or some of your income back into your pocket. Right. So when you look at, again, I'm going to show you this information in just a moment. But when you look at the inflation of utility rates, you as a consumer really have no control over that. Right. And so by going solar, which is renewable energy, you're now producing your own energy, which is clean energy, and you're controlling how much you're spending for that electricity. All right. So if I can show you during my presentation that you're saving a significant amount of money by going solar, is that going to be interesting to you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's
awesome. Awesome. Okay. That's all I need from you. Okay. So, so based on the information that your wife provided for me, the utility bill, I got your historical usage from PG&E. So we know exactly how much you're using currently and what you consumed last year, and then what you need moving forward. Okay. So the system that we've designed for you, and just so you'll know, Andy, is that each solar system is custom designed for the property. Okay, it's based on your consumption, it's based on orientation of the roof, it's based on obstructions of the roof, and it's based on several different factors. You, my friend, have the perfect roof for solar, okay, because it's facing true south. There's no obstructions. You have one little tree down here in the back that I'm not real concerned with at the moment because it's pretty small. At some point that may be, something that we can look at that you may need to trim back a little bit, but your situation is excellent. And I can tell you right now that I'm super excited about your numbers, because based on your objections, savings is your most important. And I have some pretty good savings for you, my friend. Okay.
awesome.
Awesome, buddy. So we have the Hanwha Q-Cell panels. These are the 350 black on white panels. There's a total of 41 panels in total. We're using a single phase inverter. It's a Solar Edge inverter, top of the line equipment. The system size is a 14.35 kilowatt system. That's a little bit larger than average, but again, you have a large family, right? So, you need things much bigger than the average person.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It looks, yeah, it looks about right.
Okay, so are you happy with the design so far?
So what about, see the tree here?
Right here?
Yeah, see, could some of these panels be moved from I believe the east side of the house over here to the west side? So we can give that tree more room?
So there is no east or west orientation on your roof, sir. It's true south, okay?
Right.
And so your situation would be from left to right, okay?
Right, okay.
But again, keep in mind that, first of all, I've been doing this for 12 years. I'm pretty well versed. My designs are 99.99% accurate. And I can tell you that based on what we've come up with, this is maximum exposure for you.
Okay, so this right here will be the best. So if we moved it over to the left over here on this side, this is the best, what you got here.
This is the best over here. Yes, sir. I mean, of course, you do have some south facing if you're referring to this this portion of the roof over here. We can utilize that part of the roof if you like. But again, our design team takes in several things into consideration. So again, orientation of the roof, shade analysis. You're not being affected by this tree here right now. And you're getting maximum exposure out of the system.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Awesome, my friend. So this system, you mind if I move on?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. Awesome, buddy. So right now, this system is producing 23,000 kilowatt hours. To be exact, 23,573 kilowatt hours per year. I know that may not mean a whole lot to you right now at this second, but I'm going to show you and put that in perspective for you in the next slide, okay?
Okay,
All right. You mind if we move on?
let's go. Let's do it. Let's see what's
Okay.
next.
Awesome, buddy. Okay, so here we have a graph that reflects your actual consumption versus your production after you go solar. You guys do have some high usage, and you know, the patterns are pretty average for, you know, most homes in your area. In the summertime, you have higher usage, and then you will have a small deficit in the beginning, which is January and February, and then again in November and December. Okay. However, the other months of the year, you're overproducing power. Okay. And if you're not, you know, well versed on how that works, this is a great thing for you because now you're pushing power to the grid or you're exporting power to the grid of PG&E, and you are now powering homes in your area, businesses in your area, and PG&E is also using that power to offset your evening usage. Okay. So right now, PG&E is in what they call net energy metering 2.0. How that works is every month you're going to continue to receive your statement from PG&E like you have right now, and it's going to show you your minimum electric charges, which is $10.95. Okay, and they're going to suspend any extra power that you've consumed or produced until the end of the year. So here we are in May. It's a fiscal year for the customer, meaning that your true up period will be next May in 2023. Okay. Now, the reason I oversized this system is because
So the bill will be $10 and what every month with
and
the power company?
95 cents. 95 cents.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and that's every month. What
That's
about
every
like
single
November and December and those type of things?
every single month. You're going to receive that statement for $10.95. And again, that's what is called a
Wow.
service fee. That's a service fee. And I'll tell you what that is. Because you are on the grid with PG&E, that is a fee that they charge every consumer or every customer just for sitting on the grid. You're renting space from them, basically. Okay.
Okay.
But again, I want you to understand the benefit of your system. So we oversize the system because we want to avoid having a true up bill or owing the utility company any money at the end of the year. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. So as you can see here, again, you have a small deficit in January and February, and I'm kind of going granular with this because I want you to understand the power of your solar system. So you have a deficit right now in January and February where your system is not producing enough, but starting in March all the way to October, you're overproducing power. Okay. PG&E is buying that power from you, and then the deficit that you see in November and December, they're going to offset that deficit by power that you overproduced during the year. Okay. The great thing about this, and this is why there's equity put in your property from a solar system, because your system is the only home improvement that is a money-making home improvement for your home. A pool doesn't increase equity, a jacuzzi doesn't increase equity, but solar increases equity on your property. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you so far?
Yeah, I think so. That's pretty clear. The only question I had, so May, if I was installed in May, that would be when that would be my fiscal year. So it'd be May to April.
That's correct. Yeah. So
Okay.
let's say let me rephrase that. So if you go solar today, which I'm confident that I'm going to be able to help you go solar today. When you are PTO'd or permission to operate the system, so let's just say that's in July. Okay, so whatever month your system is turned on, counting or beginning of that month to the following year would be your fiscal year.
Okay.
Okay.
So the concept is that these months will credit out these months.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. You're in a great position by going solar, my friend. You're taking control back and you are limiting, you know, the restrictions that you have from, you know, dirty fossil fuels through the utility company, I'm telling you, you're going to do very, very well with this system.
Okay,
All right, can we move on?
sure thing. Let's do it.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me there at all?
I'm pretty clear. It sounded
Awesome.
good.
Awesome, buddy. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk about your cost. You mentioned earlier about savings. And that's the crux of solar. Now you have some people who don't really care about savings. It's all about the green initiative for them. But talking with you and your wife, you have your sixth child on the way. You're looking to save some money. You need to be able to start saving for their college funds. In fact, let me ask you, what would you do with extra money?
With some extra money every month,
Yes, sir.
I think it'd be nice to have, maybe a little more recreation with the kids.
Okay. All right. What do you guys like doing, buddy?
I like to take them on bike rides, and their bikes are starting to get old, and they got lots of flat tires. Oh, those little thorns that get in the tires.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And a lot of kids, that's a lot of bikes. What's the average cost of a bicycle for a child?
I would say 250.
250? Okay.
Yeah, if you go to Walmart.
Yeah. Hey, man, you got to get what you can, right?
That's right. Well, I'm not gonna buy a kid an expensive bike. 2 months later, he'll be too big for it.
Awesome, partner. Awesome. So let's talk about your what you're currently paying to PG&E, and then what your savings are after you go solar. Okay. So again, I mentioned that we oversized the system for you by 14%, meaning there's 14% more power than your family consumed last year. Let me ask you a question. Were you all conservative with how you were using your energy last year, or were you just kind of doing, what you all wanted to do?
Pretty much what we wanted to do. I mean,
Okay.
there's no
Okay.
arguing with the queen of the castle. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And that's a great answer. And I appreciate that answer because, your home is literally one of the only places in your life that you can control, right? And that you can do with what you want to do with, right? And so,
Right.
Why be a prisoner to yourself? Having to, not turn on the air conditioner when, it's hot, or not turn on the heater when it's cold. You want to be comfortable in your home after a hard day's work, right?
100%.
Okay, awesome, partner. I can appreciate that. So let's talk about your current savings. So your average bill right now, my friend, is $597. If you don't mind, I'm going to unshare the screen just for a second because I want to go to the live link. That's because I want to show you what those rate increases look like over the next 25 years. So let me just reshare my screen right now. Okay, and here we go. All righty. So can you see the screen again, sir?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So currently you're paying $597. I want to talk to you about inflation. Now, PG&E this year alone, since January, we're only 5 months into the year, they've had a 19% rate increase. Okay. Has your income increased?
Not by 19%, I'll tell you that. No,
Not by
not at all.
19%. And you've noticed an increase in inflation across the board, correct?
100%, yeah.
Okay, so how do you take that power back, my friend? What can you do to regain some of those expenses?
I guess drive less, work from home,
Okay.
go
What else?
solar.
Go solar, right? You can go solar. That's the answer I'm looking for, right? So check this out, my friend. So I'm going to show you an increase for the next 25 years, right? Now, keep in mind, we're taking into consideration a 4 to 6% national increase. Okay, so these numbers are a little obscured, not in our favor, or actually, I guess it is in our favor because they're much higher than what we're going to project here. Okay, so your wife said this is your forever home. You guys are not moving. In 5 years, your average bill is going to be $727. How do you feel about that?
Don't like that one bit.
Don't like it, right? I mean, man, how does the average consumer how are they expected to pay these rates? You know, it's nearly impossible. Okay. Now keep in mind, this is an average, which means some of your higher bills, okay, are now in the $1,000 range. Okay. Let's skip to 15 years. You're now at $1,076 on average.
Dang.
25 years, you're at $1,500, almost $1,600 on average, which means that you're hitting some of the $2,000 ranges in your peak months.
Wow.
Okay, so
I know college kids that don't make that much money.
That is
a month.
That is correct, my friend. You know, one of the other struggles, and we're going to come to a close here in just a moment, but one of the other struggles that you're facing right now is, you know, your utility bill is one of the few bills that you can budget, right? If your bill comes and it's $25, what do?
If the bill comes and it's $25, I'm happy at that point.
You're happy at that point, but what if it comes and it's $597? What do?
Well, I grin and bear it, pay it right now. That's what I've been doing, paying it.
Yep. Okay. So you just pay it, right? But you can never budget for that cost because you don't know what it's going to be until the bill comes. Okay. Right. So let's jump to your solar payment. All righty. So your solar payment, you're paying $197 fixed for the next 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So right at $300 a month.
You're saving, my friend, $400 per month on average.
Oh my gosh, I did the math wrong. How did I do that?
Yep.
Maybe I just don't believe what I'm seeing.
It's hard to believe, but here it is in black and white and blue and white and yellow and white. Right? So you're saving $400 per month, my friend. Look at your estimated savings over the next 25 years, $239,000.
That is
right?
insane.
That's insane. That's one child right there. That's one child to the age of 18.
That's one child we don't have to put up for adoption.
So how are you feeling about the savings, my friend?
I like it. But the thing that's really, you know, I love what I'm seeing here, but I have a neighbor down the street here that went solar, and he's telling me they had a horrible experience with solar. So that's kind of one thing that's, I'm seeing it's looking good. This looks really good, but I just got that little bit of fear in me. Because my neighbor down the street's been telling me about how bad of a time he had.
Yeah. Did he tell you what the situation was?
Well, I guess when they went to sell the house, they couldn't sell it. They had to go through all this stuff. He had to end up paying, and it was tens of thousands of dollars in order to get out of it.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation, man. You know, that's one of the reasons that I stay away from a lease, you know, option. I've been doing solar, like I said, for about 12 years, and you know, a lease is not a great way to go because, you know, number one, there's no benefits for you. There's no equity in your property. There is no federal tax credit that you're eligible for. If you do sell the property and the new owner does not want it, it has to be paid off before you can sell it. And most of all, my friend, they put a lien on your property in a lease scenario. Okay, so
he has a what's the difference between the lease and what you're offering me here?
So the difference is renting versus ownership. Okay, you know, as you know, owning a property, there's much more tax benefit for you. There is the sense of ownership. There's equity. There's a great return on your investment by owning versus renting. And going solar and owning solar is the same scenario. You know, like I told your wife, you know, this is an ownership program for you. It's not a lease. You own the system. There's no lease on your property. I mean, excuse me, there's no lien on your property. Okay. Let me show you how much equity you have in your home by installing solar. By installing this system, you have almost $60,000 of equity in your property. So when you go to sell, It's an easy transfer if the new owner wants it. If not, you can pay it off during escrow because of the increased equity. And the new owner is now moving into a home that has no utility bill. That's a huge selling point for the new owner.
Wow.
Okay. All
And
right.
so it adds value, and I say $400 a month.
That is correct, my friend. And you also have a federal tax credit of $16,000 that you are eligible for. Okay. So for the sake of this, for the sake of this, this role play, Andy, I believe, that we've answered all of your questions. We met your requirement of saving money. We showed you how much money you're saving, which is almost $240,000 over the life of this system. There's $60,000 of equity in your property. How do you feel about everything now opposed to when we first started?
So I love it. I think this is great. I mean, you've done an excellent job at going over everything with me.
Mm-hmm.
Can you email this to me, and then from there I could talk to my wife, and then now she is right here.
Yeah, she can hear me.
But we could talk about this and get back to you maybe in a couple days.
That's fine, my friend. I will say this, based on the conversations that I've had with your wife, she loves the system. She loves the savings. And her exact words to me were, if my husband will sign off on this, then we can go solar tonight. Now, I'm saying that not as a high pressure.
That's right. That she did say that.
Yeah, but not as a high pressure, but I do want you to understand something, okay? That PG&E right now with the CPUC, they're trying to change how customers go solar. They want to add a service charge onto a customer that goes solar. The federal tax credit is going to be ending possibly come the beginning of the year. And so here we are in the 5th month of the year. I mean, we've met all your objections. Everything looks great. Man, I would be happy if my mom signed this kind of deal because she's saving $240,000. So with that in mind, if we get the process started tonight, we can have you installed before, in the next, let's say 60 days. And you're saving money right away. Have you received your next utility bill for this month as of yet?
Not yet. So if I do this today, what do I got to put down today?
So great question. There's no money out of your pocket. Okay. It's based on FICO score. Your wife, we already got you pre-approved. And there's no money out of your pocket. The payments don't start until the system has been installed and turned on.
Okay. Well, how long will this take?
Like I said, the average install time is about 38 days in your area. It could be a little longer, could be a little shorter. Permits are pretty fast. It is construction on the home. Things happen, things come up, but I'm going to be with you through the entire process. I'm going to walk with you through the process. If there's any issues, I'm on it right away.
Okay. Well, what's the next step? My wife is saying, my wife is with you, and I better get with my wife.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm sending over documents to you right now. Okay.
Awesome.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Done deal.
All right, guys. All right.
Dude, what am I doing in Arizona? Holy cow. Like, I have never seen a proposal that good in my life. 200,000. Like, if I see a $6,000, I'm like, sweet, you're gonna save $6,000.
All righty, guys. Let's go ahead and everybody unmute yourselves. Let's get some feedback, questions. I know we're just about 5 minutes away from our sign-off time. Does anyone have any questions? I see one in the chat. It says, with the recent Fed rates rising or federal rates rising, do you think it's going to affect the 1.99 APR rate for solar loans? I would safely say at some point that it's going to affect the interest rates for solar, especially with some of the changes that are happening here in California. I think we're going to see rates increase. And so again, that's another great point that you can use to create urgency with your customer. to get them to sign sooner than later to lock themselves into that current rate. All right.
And I imagine that what a lot of the banks would do would increase the dealer fees as well.
Say again.
A lot of the banks that are doing in this space, they'll probably increase the dealer fees as well.
I don't know. I hope not, because they're
if they go that route where you keep the interest rate lower, but you just jack your dealer fee up.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have another question from Keegan. He says solar adds value to homes in most states except Texas, I believe. Am I right? I have no idea about that. That's not really a market that I sell in. I have sold there, but I don't know the specifics to that question. But we can try and look that up for you and have that information for you on next week's.
Hey, Dana, to that
Yes.
regarding statement about Texas. So when it comes to Texas, obviously it's a lot of different utilities because it is a deregulated state. So it just really depends on the area of Texas and the utility. But that's something that you'll be able to see, once you set up the proposal.
For sure. Awesome. Awesome. There's a couple of things that I'm going to point out to you guys that I think that I do pretty well. And I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but I want you to adopt this. Okay. Whenever a customer brings up an objection to you, don't rush past it. Stay there, stay there, stay there. If it takes 20 or 30 minutes, stay there until they can communicate it back to you. That's something that I normally do. I didn't do that with him tonight for the sake of time. But if they can communicate it back to you, then they understand it. Okay. So if they have an objection and you don't have the answer for it, it's okay to say, you know what? I don't really know the answer to that, but let me get someone on the phone right now who may, or give me about 30 minutes to 45 minutes and I'll get that information for you and I'll email it to you or I'll call you right back with the information. You never want to leave an objection on the table, because you see how I took him from I'm just getting information to, you know what, let's get the document signed. I believe it's because I addressed all of his objections, right? I focused on saving money, focused on how many kids does he have, how much does it take to raise a child. All those things, you're creating as many pain points with your customer as possible. Okay.
I'm going to use that child one in the future.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Anyone
Yeah,
else?
that's one thing.
You can-
I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
That's one thing I appreciate about Dana. So, and I've learned when he does his proposals, he will not move past to the next page until they are sure about his answer or their objection. And he makes it a point, Another thing that he did in this proposal that he's done in many of mine is credibility. Built the company up, build it. There's many ways to attack a proposal but if you can bring up the objections or the information beforehand, if you can tackle it before the objection even arises, then he does that every time. And he did it again, Fortune 5,000, blah, 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 blah. So those are two really big things that I noticed. And then obviously he's done it with my proposals. He doesn't move past. He's like,
like a pit bull.
Yeah, I'm serious. He is. And I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's close it. And he's like, nah, like he stays right there. He's like dead on it. So it's very, very tactful.
Thank you, Chris. And to that point, guys, let me just say this, that if for some reason you move past that objection and they sign with you, most likely within the next 24 hours, they're going to cancel that contract. Okay. So you're, like Christopher said, you're building credibility and you're also building rapport, but you're also building trust with them. Right. And that thing that I say that I sell like I sell to my mother, that's a true thing for me. And that's not something that I make up. That's really, I say that to my customers. Anyone else? Keegan says, does Powur have partners for wind energy installations? Unfortunately, my friend, we don't. Maybe that might be something we'll do in the future, but right now we're strictly rooftop or ground mounted solar with storage or batteries. Anyone else? Okay.
I got
Awesome,
some
guys.
feedback. It's actually like something I'm going to take from Terry Loftus. Check out Terry Loftus's image there. Look at the background. On a Zoom meeting, when you meet Terry on Zoom, you're going to be like, that lady got her stuff together.
Yeah.
So I think little things like that, I think that really matters in a presentation like this. Right here, you know that there's ugly back there, and I've covered it up. So I think that's where she's got the camera. I mean, she could be looking other ways, but it looks like she's looking right at you. So I think those are little cues that I think sales are lost in, like little teeny things that do make a big difference.
Yep, I agree with you. Terry is very poised, and she's very intentional. And I love that about her. So that's great that you pointed that out.
I'm gonna get my wife to decorate my office here.
Anyone else, guys?
Dana, thank you. You did a great job tonight.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. You guys are all doing
great job. You always do well. Great presentation.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Dana, something that, I don't know, can you hear me? I'll bring this over. Dana, something that I really like that you did is that you didn't rush. I know you were short on time, but you didn't rush through. Like there's times where I'll listen to someone and they'll skip different things because maybe they don't understand it all the way, or they think that the customer's not interested, but we don't know what's important to the customer, right? Just like him asking about the panels on that side versus the other side. And so I like how you covered every single detail, but you also didn't rush through it as far as, okay, go. I was typing out what you were saying, keeping like this as a script of what you were talking about. And I noticed that a lot of times you would say things like, any questions at all, right? And you would make sure that you had these, I call them truth bombs, like that one about the electric bill is the only thing that you can't budget. You had these little truth bombs through your presentation, but then you would say, does that make sense? Or are you happy with the design? I don't think I've really asked every single person, are you happy with this design? We'll build it together maybe, but I've never, really focused on asking, are you happy with the design? And you're just making sure every box is checked off as you go. And then I really liked the recap. That took some nerve at the end when you were asking for the sale. A lot of people, I don't think, ask for the sale quite like you did, but you said, let me be Dana here for a minute, but you said, I think we met all of your criteria. We eliminated your utility cost. We increased your property value. When he tried to bow out with the wife, you said, I know she loves the system. I know she loves the savings. I mean, you didn't let him just get away. I probably would have been, okay, yeah, let me know. And he probably would have called me back and moved forward. But you asked for the order, which I absolutely thought was amazing. But you had the right to ask for the order because you made sure they were happy the entire presentation. You didn't take it for granted and just jump into the order. You asked them, do you like this? Are you happy with this? And you went through the whole thing. And at the end, you earned that right to ask for the order. So I loved that. I got a lot from that. Thank you.
Thank you. You know what? That's a great point. So here's a visual for you all. A scale that has weights and balances, right? So anytime you're dropping a weight on one side of the scale, pretty soon it's going to tip, right? So as you're presenting, like Terry just said, keep dropping those weights of truth, right? Keep dropping those weights of truth, eliminate the objections, weight of truth, eliminate those objections, and you watch that scale tip. And you can hear the excitement in Andy's voice as we progressed through the presentation. Okay. So again, guys, I'm not an expert. I'm not. But I think what I do well is I connect with the customer pretty quickly, and I make sure that they understand every piece of it. Okay. So
There's one thing that I also noticed at the beginning when I say, hey, I'm just looking for information, that derails. There's a change of feeling in the salesperson. Sometimes there's a change of feeling in me, like, oh, this guy doesn't want to buy. And then at the end, when I say, hey, that's awesome, go ahead and send me the information. You did such a good job on your presentation. Send me the information. That, you know, when they start complimenting you, they're just getting you ready to get you out. But the thing that you did not do, your emotional level stayed the same. Your feathers were not ruffled. I think that's 12 years of mastery of a Jedi Knight right there. Emotional Jedi Knight.
You know what? Terry and I have had this conversation. I actually love it when I hear people say that I'm just getting information tonight, because that becomes a challenge for me. And I say 85% of the time, 95% or 90% of the time, I can turn that person around. But again, guys, it's about connecting with them and, you know, making it personal for him. So you see how I kept putting the ball back in his court, talking about those kids, how much it costs to raise those kids. What will you do with the extra money? What kind of, you know, do you want to buy bikes for them? What kind of recreation do you want to do? So it gives them a sense of ownership in making that decision. Okay. So awesome, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope all of you guys got something out of this. Thank you for your time. And I'm sure we'll see you on next week's call with Spencer from InPhase. All righty. All right, guys. Thank you for your time, partner.